and welcome to this tension release masterclass. Today we're going to talk about why tension release is so vital and important for long-term heart health. And I'm also going to give you 3 really easy strategies that you can use in a matter of minutes that will help you, some instantly, some more in the long run, to regulate your nervous system, calm down your heart rate, and give you resilience in long-term heart health, and will also make you feel a lot better by releasing the tension. So let's dive into it. First, I just want to tell you why I think tension release is so vital and important for high performers. So in general, high performers have more responsibility, more high stakes, more pressure than the average person. And the other thing is that high performers have the ability to focus, discipline, they take massive action. So in general, life habits in high performers are better than in the general population. Usually these are people that have their life together, okay? So in the general population, the majority of problems in heart health, of course, there's tension, there's pressure, there's stress, but a lot of the problems come from bad life habits. Maybe they're not eating the best quality food. They're not living in the best places. Maybe they are, have big financial troubles, or they can't afford to go to the gym, stuff like that. Whereas high performers usually have things a little bit more together, and there's more stability in those things. Usually the life habits are tended to, and sometimes they're really, really good. Even if they're not, that's not a big deal. But there's basically the difference between the general population and high performer is that high performers feel empowered. They feel in control. They know that if they put their mind to something, they can achieve it. Whereas most people in the general population, and this may sound weird to you because you're probably surrounded by other high performers and other people who have their life together, but I'm telling you, I'd say 95% of the population that I see in the hospitals, in clinics, they do not feel empowered. They don't think that they have control. They don't know the power they have with their health. So knowing that you have that power, that feeling of empowerment and the ability to follow through with action and focus and discipline is a complete game changer for high performers. And so tension plays a much bigger role in heart health problems in high performers when you compare it to the general population. The general population, the standard medical advice will be do more exercise, eat better, and a bunch of stuff that isn't really high yield for, and it's very general. It doesn't really work for high performers because the weights are different. So anyways, that's my spiel about why tension is so important and is such a big contributor to heart health in high performers. And so basically, because there's higher responsibility, there's more weight on their shoulder, the tension in the body can accumulate. And also another thing about high performers is that we have a higher tolerance for discomfort. We tolerate things that most people would not. We tolerate levels of pressure that a lot of people would not. And this pressure accumulated over a long time has impacts on the body. And because we tolerate it, we're less likely to release it often. We just tolerate it and we let it build up, and then it's kind of like something has to break. We don't have to wait for that point to happen. We can slowly release pressure every single day, every single week. Don't have to wait for, years and decades of built up pressure when something breaks. And another thing that I want to talk about is emotions. Leaders, it's just a part of our job. We have to exercise a lot of self-restraint. You don't, sometimes that involves controlling your emotions. So you don't lose your cool in front of your team. You don't lose your cool in front of a client. You keep it together. And that's not a problem. That's a really good characteristic of a leader. Someone who can, hold their calm and hold and master their emotions in front of their team it helps build confidence, it keeps consistency, and it builds trust. So that's a good thing. But the thing is, for example, I'll give you an example in my life. So, for example, if a big case, like, I don't know, a trauma patient comes to my emergency room, I have to deal with the problem. I don't have time to say, how am I feeling today? Do I feel like crying? And do I feel like, I don't have time to think about my own feelings. I have to get the problem, I have to solve the problem, right? I have to tend to what's going on. And you likely have to do that as well. And so I put aside my emotions for a little while to tend to the problem. That's not a problem. The problem is, if you don't tend to these emotions at some point and process them, they build up. So what I do at the end of my shifts, I have techniques. Even between patients, I have techniques to release tension and emotions, right? I go after my shift, I have a good cry or something like that. Or I go for a run, or I talk about it. And I'm very conscious about releasing the emotions and the built up tension that has been going on throughout the day. Men sometimes, on the other hand, and some people who are less aware of this, stuff their emotions down and then never process them. So it's like that built up pressure that is building up for years and decades. And sometimes they're not so good at processing them. They just set them aside, stuff them down, and forget about them. And that's the danger, and that's something that you don't want to do. So these little exercises are going to help you. So there's going to be 3 exercises. One is to release tension, one is to move the energy around, and the other one is to calm the nervous system at the end. Okay? So let's jump right into it. Now you know why releasing tension is important. And so we're going to jump into the exercises. So I hope you're wearing comfy clothes because we are going to be moving. And so you can stand up. I'm inviting you to stand up. And the first exercise is called shaking, okay? So we're simply going to bounce into our knees. Gently, there should never be any pain in any of the exercises that I'm suggesting. If you have any pain, you just need to do it a little less intensely. So bounce into our knees, and we're going to start bouncing. Our shoulders bend, our elbows, our wrists, our hips. And we're just going to start breathing, okay? So this is the exercise to release tension. We're going to breathe in through our nose and let go of the exhale through the mouth. Don't be shy. You can make a noise when you exhale through your mouth, whatever feels good. Maybe you feel like screaming, I don't know, or sighing, or whatever you feel like doing is fine. With the exhale, you visualize some tension releasing from your body, okay? So let's continue to do this exercise with your eyes closed. So if it feels comfortable, you can gently close your eyes, continue shaking, and breathe in through the nose and out the mouth. Great. Let's do a couple more breaths here. Continue the shaking. Feel the release of the tension in your forehead. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Release the tension in the upper neck, the shoulders, the chest. Make whatever sound feels comfortable and good to you. And shake it out. All right. Feel the tension release in your arms, your legs, your abdomen, your lower back. All right, perfect. And now we're just going to stand still, slow down the shaking, keep your eyes closed, feel the buzzing energy and the released tension and how your body feels. You can sway side to side if it feels good. Just going to take 3 slow, normal breaths here. Right, when you're done your 3 breaths, you can gently open your eyes. So if you feel better, that was the first exercise. So this is to release tension. You can do this at any time during the day. It just takes about a minute. If you're, between meetings or going somewhere, you just want to shake it out. You get out of your car, you just a couple of shakes and conscious breaths. Feel the energy and the release of tension in your body. Take 3 normal breaths at the end. Close your eyes if you can. And I promise you, this will be a really great way to release tension throughout the day. I use this all the time. So that was release. Then the second exercise is moving energy. So we're going to do a series, just a bunch of little exercises that I use with clients that work really well. And you get to pick and choose whichever one you think is most useful or fun or you enjoy the most, okay? So the first exercise is going to be to release anger, frustration, and tension. So we're going to take our hands in fists and we're going to go like this, like you're flicking water, okay? And we're going to go down and flicking water. Imagine that you're letting go of frustrations, okay? And you can exhale as you let go. The exhale is to release tension, okay? So flick the water. That's the first kind of step. And then the next step, if you want to get a little more crazy and you really have tension and frustration and anger to release, is stomping. So we're going to flick the water and we're going to stomp. So hopefully you don't have any neighbors downstairs or anyone to scare. So don't worry, no one's watching. Let it go and let go of the frustration. You want to be stomping and releasing the tension and the frustration, okay? Okay, if you want to bring it up a notch and you're not afraid of what anyone will think about you around you and you care about your heart health and you want to release the tension, here's the next step, okay? We are going to make a sound as we exhale, flick the water, and stomp, okay? So do whatever sounds good for you. It's a guttural sound where you want to release the tension, the anger, the frustration. Might look silly, but it's way better to release it now than release it when you're sick. So do it if you think it's beneficial. I'll show you, okay? So we're flicking, we're stomping, we're imagining that we're letting go of this pent up energy, okay? And what you can do is kind of a grunting sound. All right? So I know this is not elegant, and I know that it's not maybe the most socially appropriate thing that you can do walking around, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. And honestly, just do this in the privacy of your own home, warn the people in the other rooms, and this is a very useful exercise to let go of pent-up tension. If you're not boxing, if you're not, doing intense sports, if you're doing something equivalent, then that's wonderful. But hey, you might not have a boxing gym available and you might not want to punch someone in the face while you're working. So this can be an alternative to letting go of the built-up tension. Don't wait 3 days, I'm going to go boxing on Sunday. Don't wait with this accumulated tension. It shows in your face. It shows in your ways. It shows in how you're not patient and irritable and waking up in a shit mood. So don't wait for this pressure to pick up and to build up. Release it. Okay. So this is a good exercise. Stomping, flicking the water, stomping, and grunting all at the same time. Choose your level and depending on where you are and how frustrated you feel. Okay. So there's other things that I want to show you to move energy in the body. We're gonna be slapping our traps. Okay, so the trapezius muscles are the muscles that go up to the bottom of your skull, all the way down to your shoulder, and all the way down your back. Okay, it's a really tense muscle in high performers, honestly in everyone, but especially in high performers. And this kind of clenches us up, can give us back pain, posture problems, and makes our breathing more shallow because we're all tensed up, can give us headaches. Anyways, it's a huge, it can cause problems, okay? So we're gonna be slapping our traps. You're gonna take your hand and you're gonna slap on your trapezius muscle 10 times. Breathe in through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Other side. I stay a little longer on my right side just because I'm right-handed and that side is a little bit more tense, so you do you. Okay, great. All right. Next exercise to move. We're going to take our 2 fingers between our eyebrows is an acupressure point to calm the mind, okay? So we're just going to do circles, do a good pressure. Close your eyes, breathe in through your nose. Release through your mouth. Just a couple breaths here. I suggest 5. All right, perfect. Next exercise to move the energy, take your 2 fingers. We're going to start at the beginning of the eyebrow and go to the end of the eyebrow, okay? Do this 5 times. Exhale, visualize stagnation, tension being released. Then we're going to massage the temples. This is a fun one because you can obviously do this anywhere. It's very discreet. It's not, you're not stomping and screaming and doing whatever. It's very discreet. You can do this in a meeting. You can do this in public, on the elevator, in your car, anywhere you want. So we're just going to rub the temples forward a couple times. So maybe 5 times. During your breathing, inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth to release. If you want a ballpark number, 5 breaths going forward, 5 breaths, circles backwards, okay? Perfect. Last exercise, if you can, and if you don't have a nice hairdo, you can do this exercise. Take your fingers, and we're going to run them through the scalp about 10 times. There's a lot of nerves and pressure points in your scalp, and the scalp can get very tense. We don't usually pay attention to this area of our body, so we want to just release the tension and give our head a little massage. Give a good pressure and feel your fingers on your scalp. Continue that breath. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth to release tensions that have accumulated. Wonderful. Check it out. Put one hand on your heart. Relax and take 3 deep breaths. Feel how the energy has moved and how you're feeling less tense. Maybe you're noticing that your breath is a little bit deeper. One last breath. Release. Open your eyes. So, hope you're feeling better. Those were the exercise to move the energy in your body. Pick and choose. This doesn't need to be the whole sequence. You can do one part. Maybe there's a part that you like. Maybe there's a part that's really effective. Maybe sometimes if you're in public, you'll rub the temples, but when you get back home, you'll stomp and grunt. So you pick and choose what works best for you, okay? Now, the last exercise is super simple, and this is the one that I suggest that you do daily, this is the one that might take the most amount of time for you to see an effect, but the effect long term are truly phenomenal. Like I am seeing really, 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 really good results with this, with people who practice this for weeks, months, and I have been doing this for years. This is something that will allow you to master your nervous system and to master your reactions in your body, master your emotions, master calming your mind. A lot of high performers, very overactive mind. And then we get into a big situation where we need to control our minds, we need to control our emotions, our reactions, how we feel. This will serve you really well if you practice when you are calm. This is not a technique that works so well when you're in an emergency mode. This is a technique that works well to practice long term. So this is simply controlled breathing. I've been doing this for years, and I think that I'm pretty good. I think I've mastered this. Being able to tell your body to relax at will, on command. We are mastering our bodies, our emotions, our reactions. So this is, a little bit more advanced, takes more time, patience, dedication, but it's just the best few minutes of your day invested. I recommend 5 minutes. This can be done in the morning or in the evening or both. The evening is really good because this will calm your nervous system before you go to bed. So let me explain. It's simply breathing in for 4 counts through your nose and then exhaling through your nose for 6 counts. What's going on there is as you're focusing on counting the breaths, or you can also use an app to make a sound. There's a really good one called Pranayama, which is free, that you can download. And it has a sound. So you're hearing the sound. So you need to focus on your breathing, controlling it, and hearing the sound. It's hard to think about anything else, okay? So what's happening is as you make your exhale a little bit longer, it stimulates the vagus nerve. So this is the nerve that signals to your body that you can go into parasympathetic mode, the rest, digest, recover mode, okay? Excellent before you go to bed. And on the long term, when you practice this, you are able to enter this state at will and you get better and better at it, okay? You might not feel so many effects at the beginning because it takes time to build. It's a muscle that needs to be practiced for the long term. So let's do a few breaths together and then you can practice on your own later. So take a normal breath in, exhale, and now we're going to breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can close your eyes. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, just a little side note, if you feel out of breath or you can't go with my count, just take a normal breath and do your best to get back in, okay? I'm just showing you can do it on your own time. Let's do 2 more. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. You can open your eyes if they're closed. And maybe you can observe that your breathing is a little bit lighter, a little bit deeper, and maybe you feel a little bit calmer. And as I said, this is an exercise that is really a long-term investment. I recommend doing it before bed or in the morning, but bedtime is, I think, the ideal time. 5 minutes. Start with 2 or 3 if you can, and then you can move up to 5 minutes. I'm telling you, I think that if there's anything that you can remember of this video, Well, the quick tension release exercises are really practical, but the breathing, the 5 minutes of breathing in the evening before you go to bed with the controlled breathing, if you do this long term, you will be so ahead of most people in terms of heart health. Just that short exercise will make you feel good. It will signal to your body that you care about it, that you have the discipline and the focus to take care of it, and it will give you more mastery on how you feel. So it's a very high yield exercise. I think that it can benefit everyone, but especially people who are able to focus like high performers. So there you have it, guys. These were my 3 techniques to release tension. I would suggest using these all the time, anytime you can, every day if possible. But even if you do these a few times a week, you'll be way ahead of most people. And you'll start to better communicate with your body. You'll foster that body mind connection that is so important for heart health. Okay. Mastering our nervous system is what helps our heart be calm. It lowers our resting heart rate. It improves our heart rate variability, which is a marker of good heart health. So, and it just, you know, it lowers stress, improves sleep, it makes us happier, it gives us better resilience to stress. So these are really, really good techniques for long-term heart health that I encourage you to integrate. I hope you enjoyed this masterclass. I hope that you learned something, and yeah, feel free to let me know any feedback, any questions. I have other master classes. I have a master class called 5 Overlooked Strategies by High Performers. Just DM me if you like it, or if you want to get on my newsletter where you can get access to my insights monthly, and I also share when I have master classes. So hope you enjoyed, and I'm wishing you a beautiful day ahead. Bye.